A waitress, my bill, please.
Certainly, sir. There you are.
Thank you. I say, just a minute. There must be a mistake here. It can't possibly be 37 and 6.
It is, sir.
But I only had fish and chips.
That's right, sir. The price of fish and chips today is 35 shillings.
It's preposterous. Fetch the manager.
Very good, sir.
Disgraceful, is it?
Good morning, sir. Something the matter?
I should think there is. What's the meaning of charging 35 shillings for fish and chips?
Well, I'm afraid we couldn't obtain our normal supplies of place cod or rock salmon.
So?
So the fish today is a rather expensive delicacy from abroad.
That was an excerpt from Dear Octopus. Another in our series, A Play to Remember, which may also help you to forget the next half hour.
Meanwhile, for those with a strong disposition, here is a sort of radio show which is beyond our ken. Among those taking part are Midgley Woodruff, Ada Lollobrigida, the Staffordshire Potteries Chamber Music Ensemble, Eustace Formaldehyde, Miss Prunella Parasol.
She's a shady character.
To continue, Sir Humphrey Staccato, Dame Edith Ann Field, and of course Mr. Kenneth Horne, who prefers to remain anonymous. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenneth Horne.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Beyond Our Ken, the show that has been compared favourably with the weather forecasts. And here now is our own show forecast. Douglas, please.
The outlook for the next 30 minutes is as follows. Mainly dull, with bright patches here and there, occasional drivel, and isolated laughs from a scattered shower.
Well, thank you, Mr. Smith. Well, now, let me tell you some of the things that have happened since we last met. On Tuesday, I attended a concert at the Festival Hall to hear a performance of a brand new work by Nasrallah Parmenter, extremely popular composer. From his pen came such things as Incl. He's also well known for his adaptation of the Trumpet Voluntary for strings, and possesses a very rare instrument which sounds like this. And now you will know why it's very rare. And actually, it's quite a dangerous instrument and must never be played during the mating season. On one occasion at the Festival Hall, during a fugue, a whole flock of lesser-spotted grudge hawks flew in and delivered a protest. The particular piece he was responsible for on Tuesday was a concerto for orchestra and mouth violin. Now, there are very few people who play the mouth violin, except Mavis Trubwhistle, another piece he was responsible for. However, coming to Thursday. On Thursday evening, I'd been spending the evening with friends and arrived home round about 10:30. When I turned the key in the lock, well, I didn't know what I was letting myself in for. Funny, the door won't open. Prudence.
Go away, you horrible monster!
Open this door.
That won't do you no good. I've barricaded the door. You can't get in.
What's the matter with you, Prudence? Good heavens, you haven't got your boyfriend round again?
Whoever you are, go away. Go on. Get back to outer space.
Prudence, open this door. It's me, Kenneth Horne.
Oh. Is it really you, Mr. Horne?
Of course it is.
Hang on, sir. I'll move these things away from the door.
Ah, well, now that's better. Now, Prudence, whatever's got into you?
Oh, I'm ever so sorry, Mr. Horne. I've been scared out of me wits. It was that thing I've been watching on television. Science friction it was, sir. Not suitable for people of a nervous disposition. That's what they said before it.
Then why did you watch it?
I didn't know I had one until afterwards. Oh, sir, you should have seen... Ah! Oh, look out of the window. It's one of them.
Prudence. Those are my pajamas on the washing line.
Oh, dear.
Now, look, just calm down and tell me all about it.
All right, sir. Well, it was cold. The fantastic heat. And oh, sir, that music!
My name is Peter Calthrop. My wife Sally and I came down from London and opened a pub in a quiet little village of Burbleberry. It was a pretty uneventful life. Until one day last summer.
Here you are, Mr. Dingle. A pint of best ale.
Oh, thank you. Oh, my word, it's warm, isn't it?
Our beer always is.
Oh, dear, Peter. Whew. I don't think I've ever known it so hot.
Oh, I don't know. Remember that week in Brighton?
Yes, and I'm talking about the weather.
Good evening, all. Good evening.
It's our local author. Hello, Gavin. Written any good books lately?
Oh, no, it's too hot to work. My thermometer says 110 degrees.
Oh, well, our thermometer says 108 degrees.
Then you're 2 degrees under.
Hello. Looks like a stranger to the village.
Good evening. Could I have a room, please?
Oh, we're rather full. I could manage something.
All right.
Have you a suitcase?
No, but I do have some rather expensive technical equipment which I'd like treated with care.
Oh, you're not from television, are you? Because, personally, I get my things whitest.
My dear madam, I happen to be a scientist.
Oh, that's interesting. May I buy you a drink, sir?
Thank you. I'll have half a pint of ferrodicarbazole magnesium acetate.
Oh, this heat. It's getting unbearable.
Yes, it's almost uncanny.
Oh, I think there's something funny going on.
Well, it certainly isn't the script.
Why, it ain't never has been as hot as this in Burberry. And been no one believe me, but this very morning, I was down by old Barnaby's meadow, and I seen him with me own eyes.
Well, that's nothing new. These courting couples always are.
No, this was something I never seen afore. Just near old Barnaby's house it were. Flying saucers.
Oh, yes, old Barnaby and his wife having another row.
No, 'twas a strange object that landed in the field, I tell you.
Quiet, you fools. Go on, ma'am. Tell us what happened.
What was even hotter than now when the object landed? The lid opened and...
Oh, go on, out with it.
Horrible it were. A great giant insect.
Good grief. Look at the thermometer. It's 120.
Peter, I'm frightened.
Now, look, if there's anything unusual going on, the BBC will know about it. Switch the wireless on, Sally.
Right.
Chanted lady, 5 to 4 on fate. Oh, blast. Now, here is the result of the Misshapen Legs of Hampstead contest. The winner is number 19.
Good heavens, it's Pat Lancaster.
And here she is to sing for us.
That old game of
And jolly nice, number 19.
Oh, it's got me by the waist, a great big groping tentacle. Oh, Peter, really?
Well, personally, I don't believe a word of this nonsense.
No, look at the temperature now. 140. What you people don't understand is these are monster insects controlled by radio, and they generate a heat of thousands of degrees centigrade.
But what use is that?
Well, it might come in handy for making toast, I suppose.
This landing is probably an advance party to prepare for a major invasion.
Oh, no.
It's getting hotter.
Yes, who knows? There might even be a thing in here.
There is actually. It's upstairs, first on.
Now, look here, if what you say is true, we must do something.
Where's the phone?
There.
The phone. Yeah, good. Yes. Don't worry. Whitehall will have been alerted by now. I'll speak to the minister. Hello? Sir Hugh Ridgway, please. Hannaford here, scientific advisor. Hello? Hello?
Sir Hugh Ridgway here.
Hello, Sir Hugh. Has the terrible news reached you yet?
Yes, 28 for 2, dashboard share.
No, sir. I mean the invasion of England by giant electricity-generating monsters. Hello, sir. They could wipe us all out.
Oh, don't worry, old boy. Cadre is batting at number 4.
Sir, invaded by monsters.
What sort?
Electricity-generating insects. You must do something.
Oh, I'm sorry, Hannaford. It's not my pigeon. Try the electricity authority.
Hello. Oh, bother. They can't help.
What? Oh, my goodness, what are we going to do? I can't stand it, do you hear me? I can't stand it! I can't! This could be the end of us all! Oh, no, it's all too ghastly! What are we going to do?
Sally, it won't do any good acting like this.
Oh, I don't know. The drama department might be listening.
I'll get in touch with Scotland Yard. Hello.
What's the matter?
Oh, no. The line's been cut.
I'm not surprised. It was pretty filthy.
Look here. Why don't one of us nip down to the local police station?
Don't be a fool. It's not safe with those things outside.
It's the only way. I'll go.
Oh, how
Now, where's my equipment? Gentlemen, this is a television walkie-talkie. Not only can I keep in touch with you, but you can watch my progress on this small screen.
Now, be careful of the things, Hannaford.
All right, but if they should happen to get me,
Yes?
well, it'll be just one of those things.
There, the picture's on the television screen now.
I'm getting into the car now. The road is clear ahead. The heat is intense. Going past the post office. It's getting hotter. There's the churchyard on the left. There seems to be something ahead of me I can't quite see.
What is it? There's nothing on the screen.
Great Scott, yes, it's ahead of me now. Can't you see it? It's... Ah!
Oh, no, the screen's gone blank.
Wait a minute. There's something coming on.
You'll feel okay if you start the day with Potter's porridge flakes.
Just listen. They don't make a sound.
Porridge flakes.
And now part 2. Ah! Oh, it's ghastly. I've never seen anything like...
Oh, good heavens, the set's gone dead.
Whatever he saw must have been pretty terrible.
Perhaps it was the squire's wife.
Oh, Peter, I'm scared half to death. What on earth are we going to do now?
Shh. Listen.
There's something coming.
The door handle's turning.
All right, everybody, back against the wall.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's incredible. A double-headed insect monster from outer space.
I've never seen anything so ghastly.
It's coming nearer. Ah!
Good afternoon. I'm sorry if I frighten you.
You filthy beast!
Oh, no, don't be like that.
Oh, you're hideous.
Well, 2 heads are better than one.
What are you doing here?
Well, I just popped down from another planet.
Is this the start of a mass invasion?
No, of course not. I only come down to ask a question of the Earth people.
Well, we are the Earth people. What do you want of us?
Well, I was just wondering.
Yes?
Do you think we could borrow half a cup of sugar?
So much for things from outer space. And now here are 4 people from outer London who add up to the Fraser Hayes Four.
Put on the skillet, put on the lead. Mama's gonna make a little shortening bread.
Shortening bread.
And so to the Kenneth Horne documentary feature, Hornorama. Yes, once again, Kenneth Horne and his team of investigators bring you a factual report on topics of immediate interest. And this week we present a close-up on sport.
Well, first of all, let's talk to a well-known cricket umpire, Mr. Stanley Birkinshaw. Glad to have you with us, sir.
Oh, the pleasure's mine, I assure you.
Yes. You've umpired quite a lot of matches, I suppose.
Oh, yes, indeed, yes, I have. Surrey versus Sussex, Essex versus the MCC, all sorts.
Yes. And you're always there at the wicket to see fair play.
Oh, yes, that is so, yes, indeed. I scrutinise every aspect of the match. Of course, I'm supposed to observe strict impartiality, but I must confess that on one occasion I did whisper some advice to Peter May.
Really? What was that?
I said, if you want to stop Summer Rose scoring any more sixes, take Statham off and substitute a slow-off spinner. And just as that youngster, they had to stop play.
Why was that?
So the wicket would have a chance to dry out.
And now here's another gentleman. What's your sport, sir?
Well, I simply adore a game of water polo, because I don't get the chance to play enough.
Why not?
My horse isn't too keen, you know.
Now then, here's one of the leading tennis stars. Madam, what do you think of your chances?
Yeah, I definitely think I shall capture Wimbledon this year.
You're a really good player, then.
No, but I've got the most gorgeous pair of frilly panties.
Well, that's what counts. Yes. Well, now to the Olympic Games. We're privileged to have with us the familiar figure who carries the burning torch into the arena. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening to you. And I'm very honoured.
Thank you. I'm sure you are. Yes.
Thank you.
Now, sir.
Oh, yes.
So you're the one, are you?
I am, sir. Yeah, yes. That is me, yes. They bring me out of retirement every 4 years, you know.
Yes, I see.
Yes.
And how long have you been doing it?
35 years.
How long?
35 years. Ah, yes. And I'll be there again at the next Olympic Games, trotting round the arena, wearing me same old shorts and running vest, and carrying that flaming thing around.
Now tell me, sir.
Torch,
Yes.
I can.
You do you?
Oh,
Would you tell me, with your vast experience now, what do you think will happen at the next Olympic Games?
I will confidently predict one of the biggest shocks there has been for years.
Oh, I see. You've got some inside information then.
No, I've got a dirty grey hole in my shorts.
Well, now then, sports. At one time, riding was a somewhat exclusive pursuit, pretty well confined to the country set. But now even the Londoner can enjoy riding at such places as Hampstead Heath.
Hello, Rodney.
Your ex-tally here, Charles. I say, isn't that a new riding habit you've got on?
Brand new, Rodney. It's absolutely donny, isn't it?
Very contemporary. What a novel idea. Taffeta breeches.
Rod, it's almost time you had some new gear, you know. Your riding whip's a bit tatty.
I know it's been a poor crop this year. Oh, well, come on. It's a lovely day for a ride.
Isn't it? I say, shall we make a race of it, Rod?
Oh, fabulous. Loser buys the drink.
Righty here.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Yeah.
Sit. Yeah.
Come on, boy, come on.
Come on.
Come on.
I do wish these donkeys would go a bit faster.
Oh, there you go. Show your paces.
Don't you carrot a bit further
Oh, I'm
forward?
beating you. It's been marvelous.
Well, there can't be many of us who don't enjoy a nice swim now and again, but very few of us are capable of indulging in such a sport as high diving. We've got something of a surprise for you now. Something of a surprise. So over to our own commentator, Cecil Snaith.
Well, hello, listeners. This is Cecil Snaith speaking to you from a well-known indoor swimming pool. The surprise that was mentioned by Mr. Horne just now is that I myself was high diving champion of my college at university. Yes, I've been in some dives in my Of course, it's been quite a while since I actually done any fancy diving, but the BBC persuaded me to convince listeners that there is at least one thing I can do properly. So I'm standing now on the top springboard, clad, not unnaturally, in my shark skin bathing trunks. I just thought I'd slip that in, as this isn't television. Well, the dive I shall attempt is a double reverse back somersault and 2 half turns. A feat only possible on an extra springy diving board. So, listeners, here I go. And this is Cecil Snaith from the shallow end, returning you to the studio.
Now let us turn to perhaps the most widely appreciated sport, football. And even if you're not fortunate enough to watch a really serious game of football, like the show business 11, then no doubt you support your own home team. And at any match they play, you can be sure of hearing the loyal and ever-devoted fan.
Go on, Billy. That's it, lad. Make circles round him. Oh, he's a grand player, is Billy. Oh, this team would be nothing without him. I'm telling you, worth every penny of the money they paid for him. Look at him now. Look at him. He's got the ball again. Go on, Billy. Show him how it's done. Go on. What? He's past one man. 2 men. Just watch him now. That's it, Billy. He's got past another one. Go on, lad. Shoot. Go on. Shoot. It's an open goal. Shoot, Billy. He missed. Put that right idiot on the transfer list. They shouldn't have bought him in the first place. It's ridiculous.
Finally, let us consider a sport that is gaining popularity all the time. I don't know if it's the Robin Hood spirit that is inherent in the British, but more and more people are becoming interested in archery.
Ambrose, that wasn't a very good shot.
All right, you don't have to tell me. I know it was miles to the left.
Try
Keep
again,
on.
my darling. Now draw the bow. Draw the bow at 11.
Oh, shut up, you silly old faggot.
I'm not an old faggot.
I know what I'm doing. Yeah.
You're getting worse.
Well, it's the first time I tried this archery, love.
Oh, no, darling. I don't think you'll ever get the idea.
Well, of course I won't if you keep on nattering and nagging.
I'm not, darling.
You're putting me off. Now.
Careful, Ambrose.
Oh, build up, Felicity, and for heaven's sake, keep still. It's the third time the apple's fallen off your head.
Well, there you are. There'll be another Hornorama next week when the subject will be policemen, do they need a resting personality? So until next week at the same time, this is Kenneth Horne saying goodbye for now and leaving you with this thought from a listener. When a judge has his hair cut, is it an infringement of the law? Good night.
You have either been listening to or have just missed Beyond Our Ken, a sort of recorded radio show which gave employment to Kenneth Horne and also to Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddick, Betty Marsden, Bill Pertwee, Pat Lancaster, the Fraser Hayes Four, and the BBC Revue Orchestra conducted by Paul Fennelly. The script, believe it or not, was written, and letters of complaint should be sent to Eric Merriman. However, the onus must inevitably fall on our producer, Jakes Brown.
I say, you, that gentleman over there, come here, come here. Now, do you mind if I kiss you?
Oh, no, stop messing about.
I mean it. I find you madly fascinating. Oh, come on. Put your arms around me.
Oh, yeah, this is all wrong. I don't know you at all. I've never seen you before.
Oh, that makes it all the more exciting.
Ooh.
That was an excerpt from Love from a Stranger. Another in our series, A Play to Remember, which may also help you to forget the next half hour.
Meanwhile, for those with a strong disposition, here is a sort of radio show which is beyond our ken. Among those taking part are Lieutenant Commander Haldicott Mackridge Thendispass, Turkish bath attendant, Worried Blue Eyes of South Clapham, the Bournemouth Ladies Guild Black and White Minstrels, Widgley Farson, Miss Gertrude Gardner, the famous left-handed piano player.
Oh, I know her. She's a bit of a vamp.
To continue, Ross Atwell, Frank Edgware and Dennis Morden, and of course Mr. Kenneth Horne, who prefers to remain anonymous. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenneth Horne.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Beyond Our Ken. Let me tell you some of the things that have happened since we last met. On Monday, I popped into my favourite exotic coffee bar in Kensington, a place called the Cup of Cocoa, which I always find fascinating. I can spend hours in there just sitting and watching the brown sugar sink slowly through the froth. However, on Wednesday, I was in town when I ran into a chap I know who's got a rather unusual job. He tests mattresses. It's quite a skilled job, and actually there's a special name for blokes who test mattresses. Oh, what is it now? Oh, dear, oh, dear. Oh, yes, I know. A mattress tester. That's right, yeah. Anyway, he was looking pretty miserable because apparently he'd just been given the sack. And when I asked him why, he said,
"Well, they caught me standing up on the job."
Well, on Thursday, I wanted to meet the supervisor of programme planning for the BBC, Mr. Spencer Lotterby. So I went along to Broadcasting House. Dear, dear, how much longer do I have to wait? Oh, Commissioner, look, I've read the Radio Times and the Listener twice already.
Well, we've got a book here you might like to read.
Yeah?
There's one or two bits. Well, you know, I've marked the pages. Keep it to yourself. Here you are.
Oh, thank you. Now, what's it called? Oh, the Listen with Mother Annual. Well, I suppose I...
Good gracious, still waiting, Mr. Horne? Haven't they sent you up yet?
No.
Well, you should have done. After all, you've sent us up enough times, haven't you? Oh, perhaps you care to accompany me. I'm the press officer. Mr. Lotterby's on the 8th floor, though I ought to warn you, he's a very difficult man to get into. Right, up we go.
Oh, golly, that was quick.
Yes, that's one of our best sound effects.
Oh, look, that office there. Edwin Braden, it says. He's our musical arranger. I must pop in.
No. He mustn't be disturbed. He's hard at work. Listen.
Look, I'm sure he wouldn't mind if I...
No, Mr. Horne. He prefers to be on his own most of the time, you know. In fact, we call him the Lone Arranger. Should we pass on?
Yes, as quickly as possible after that one.
Ah, here we are, Mr. Lotterby's office.
Ah, good morning. I'm Spencer Lotterby.
This is Mr. Kenneth Horne, sir.
Kenneth Horne? It's funny, we've got a Kenneth Horne on our files. There's a show called Beyond Our Ken. Actually, according to the statistics, nobody listens to him. But there's another fellow in the show everyone's mad about, named Kenneth Williams. Yes, I wouldn't miss him myself. Versatile, handsome, mellifluous.
Yes, now, isn't Betty Marsden in that show, too?
Oh, yes, she's always overacting, you know.
Excuse me.
Eh?
Excuse me, sir. What about Hugh Paddick?
Yes, what about you? Yes. I could...
Yes, that's good. Mr. Lotterby, this listener research business is very interesting. I'd like to know how you get your information.
So would I. No, actually, we have a team of experts going round asking people what they like.
And what do they like?
Well, most of the men seem to go for cricket commentaries.
And what do the women go for?
Kenneth Williams. Very versatile, handsome, mellifluous.
Yes. By the way, what does mellifluous mean?
I've no idea, but we can soon find out. Get me information. We got one of the best information departments. They know everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Hello? Oh, Spencer Lotterby here. I want to know the meaning of mellifluous. Mellifluous. M for mellifluous. E for mellifluous. Oh, M for mother. E for Edward. L for leguminate. Leguminous. L for latitude. Latitude. L. Oh, never mind.
Well, I'm sorry I asked. Tell me, Mr. Lotterby, how does one learn the job of listener research?
Well, you start with the keyholes and work your way up. We've got lots of other interesting statistics, you know. You'd be amazed at the number of people who listen to the news in Norwegian.
Really? Where do they all come from?
Norway. But if you want some really interesting statistics, come into this room here. Here, how about those? 34, 26, 36.
Good heavens, it's Pat Lancaster.
And the Variety Orchestra are all here, studying the statistics.
Well, I don't know. They even whistle off key. All right. Sing, Pat. Charley, nice, Pat.
By the way, Mr. Lotterby, it's time for the critics.
Oh, yes, the critics. Now, what's that program all about? I've never heard it.
Neither have I. That's why I'm going to listen. I'll switch on my set.
Race at Newbury. First, Rose of Summer, 20 to 1. Second, Helping, 100 to 7. Third, Saddle of Lamb, joint favourites. That is the end of the racing results. Now, here is an announcement. In the play at 8:30 this evening, The Sport of My Mad Mother, the part of the Lotus Eater will be played by Peggy Mount and not Sir Donald Wolfage. As shown in the Radio Times, which incidentally is on sale now, price 4p. And now we present the critics. The chairman today is Kenneth Horne.
Extraordinary thing. I must listen to this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the critics.
Good afternoon. Our art critic today is Eustace Peabody, so we'll start with films. The film we've seen this week is Hiroshima Mon Tweety Pie. Now then, Elizabeth Fadgepart Hobertson.
Yes, well, as a matter of fact, I went to see this film with our book critic, Neville Hodge, and I must admit I was held from beginning to end. He's a bit of a devil, is old Neville.
You liked it then?
Oh, I enjoyed it tremendously, yes.
Neville Hodge?
Oh, yes, rather.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, what did our theatre critic think of the film? T.B. Gorsley.
Quite honestly, I would like to be able to say that I didn't enjoy this film, but I'm afraid I did. The whole thing had a tremendous depth, even though it was on a wide screen. And I felt that what came across particularly well was the fortiter in re, suaviter in modo.
Oh, yes, definitely.
I mean, one got the impression that at the very least it was, well, how shall I put it? Well, se non e vero e ben trovato.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Of course, I can understand that some of us might not like it as much as others, but then chacun a son goût, as I always say.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Elizabeth, do belt up. You don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yes, I do.
Well, I don't. However, if I was asked to sum this film up in one word, I think I should say that the whole thing was
Mellifluous?
Yes.
Thank you, yes, that's right. Well, now our radio critic, Marvin Spenlow.
Well, I don't intend to wallow in the asinine verbosity of Gosling. I shall be quite outspoken. I hated it.
Oh.
Yes, I hated this film.
Yes, but why?
Kenneth Williams wasn't in it.
Well, there we are. I myself couldn't get in to see it. There were enormous queues for the 5 bobs, and I certainly wasn't going to pay 7 and 6. However, in summing up the general opinion of the critics, I would say that we vote Hiroshima Mon Tweety Pie a miss.
Oh, turn it off. But that programme will have to go. You know, Mr. Horne, there's going to be some radical alteration in the BBC programmes in the future.
Really? How do you mean?
Well, I mean, for one thing, we're hoping to sell some of our radio shows to the American market. In fact, with that in view, we've already Americanized one of our most popular programmes. Would you like to hear the recording?
Yes, I would indeed.
All right. Stand by.
This is the BBC Light Programme. We present another gripping installment of The Archers.
A tale of simple country folk.
The story you are about to hear is true. Only the fat stock prices have been changed to mislead the income tax collector.
My name is Archer, Dan Archer. I'm a farmer. Wednesday, May 1st, me and my assistant were working in the fields on our usual beat, the sugar beet. We tied up all the loose ends and we were taking a shortcut across the field of corn when an emergency call came through. Hello, Archer. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We got to get back right away. Something's cropped up.
Okay. Say, Dan, how comes you got a telephone call in the middle of a cornfield?
You never heard of the corn exchange?
When we got back to the farmhouse, it was deserted. The reason was soon obvious. Wrong farmhouse.
We finally got the right one. I threw open the door. There was a woman standing by a table.
Well, hello there.
Who are you?
My name is Archer, Doris Archer. I'm your wife.
What's the trouble, ma'am?
It's our boy Jack. He's missing.
We started the search immediately.
We looked in the barn. Nothing suspicious there.
I questioned the milkmaid.
She didn't know much.
She does now. The search continued. At last, we found a man who might help. He was out in the pasture taking stock of the stock. Hey, mister, can I have a word with you? Okay, just stick to the facts. Who are you?
My name is Gabriel, Walter Gabriel. I'm a herdsman.
Okay, Mac, what do you heard?
Well, they go the other way to the road. The way right now.
Are you sure?
Yeah, right up that road right there.
Thanks, mister. You've been a lot of help. Archer? Okay, we'll check on it. That was my dog. He thinks he's got a lead. Come on.
Okay. Say, Dan, how comes you got a telephone call in the middle of a herd of cattle?
Never heard of the stock exchange?
We followed up the lead. It was right. We closed in on the hayloft. There in the corner, we found the answer to the Jack Archer case.
Jack Archer.
Immediately, we reported back to the farmhouse.
Well?
My name is Archer, Dan Archer. I'm a farmer.
I know that. Just give me the facts.
Oh, ma'am, we found him.
Is it bad?
Worse than that, our boy Jack has disgraced the family name.
Yeah, we found him in the hayloft operating a secret radio.
Oh, no! Jack Archer, a traitor!
Afraid so, ma'am.
But why?
He was listening to Mrs. Dale's diary.
Well, you may be interested to know that Jack Archer was found guilty and received the maximum sentence. 52 weeks in the Huggets. However, some more interesting facts I learned from the BBC were all about FHF, which I always thought meant fairly high frequency, but turned out to be the Fraser Hayes Four.
And so to the Kenneth Horne documentary feature, Hornorama. Yes, once again, Kenneth Horne and his team of investigators bring you a factual report on topics of immediate interest. And this week we present a close-up on Russia. Is their political outlook in doubt?
Or can we take it as read? First of all, let's talk to an authority, Mr. Stanley Birkinshaw. Now, sir, I understand you've just returned from a lecture tour in Russia.
That is so, comrade, yes. My subject was the British way of life.
Did you travel far?
Oh, yes, indeed, yes. It was an extensive tour, right across the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. I visited such places as Minsk, Omsk, Vladivostok, Murmansk, the Caucasus, Sebastopol, across the Russian steppes, and finishing up in Moscow.
Yeah. Were your lectures well attended?
Oh, yes, indeed. Wherever I spoke, there was an overflow.
And here's a very, very attractive Russian lady. Now, madam, I must say, I find you extremely beautiful, and I would like...
No.
Oh. I thought that was a word you've never used. However, I understand your fiancé is closely connected with various international organizations.
That is true, yes. He is very, very keen on, well, you know.
Yes, I think I know, yes.
In fact, that is where we first met.
Oh, you were both delegates at UNO.
Yes, we used to work out together.
And now we're privileged to meet a remarkable old character who has actually lived and worked in Siberia. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. Yes, I'm very proud.
Thank you, sir.
Honored.
Thank you. Now,
Thank
sir.
you.
Now, sir.
Yes.
You've
yes.
actually been to the Urals.
Yes, I'm afraid I had to, sir. You see, I was working out there in the salt mines for something like 35 years.
How long?
35 years. Yes, quite an old salt.
Yes, very funny, sir. Now, tell us something I've always wanted to know. What do they do with all that salt?
They wrap it up in little blue bags for them potato crisps.
Russia, a vast and industrious country. And in many fields, great advances are being made.
I said no.
Oh, she's back, is she? However, I was thinking particularly of those pioneers of progress, the Russian scientists.
Hello, Rodney.
Hello, Comrade Charles. I say, what a lovely blue tie.
Yes, it's rather dolly, isn't it? It's my Conservative club tie. What about this gorgeous Cossack hat I'm wearing?
Oh, yes, what for?
Keep my head warm, sir.
Oh, you are a rag.
Rodders, would you care for samovar tea?
No, you can have some of ours.
I don't think that's funny.
Oh, get with it, comrade. Honestly, you're a bit of a red square.
Come on, I think it's time we got on with our latest project.
Let's hope this rocket works, or we'll be for it.
All right. Stand by, comrade.
Ready to launch rocket?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. You fool! You sent it along the ground instead of up.
It's not my fault. You knocked the milk bottle over.
Really, to understand the Russian way of life, one has to talk to the ordinary people, learn their social and sporting interests. With this in mind, we sent Cecil Snaith to Moscow.
Well, listeners, I'm speaking to you now from a famous Soviet working man's club. Well, all sorts of indoor games are being played. There are, in fact, one or two other Englishmen here. It's quite easy to spot them. They haven't got snow on their boots. However, standing by me now is a Russian gentleman by the name of Ivan. As a matter of fact, listeners, when he told me he was Ivan, I said, yes, you look pretty terrible. Little joke which, unfortunately, he did not share. So, he has invited me to join him in a game called Russian Roulette. I've never played this before, but we have a revolver with 6 chambers, and place just one bullet in it, spin it round, and then pass the gun back and forth, firing it at our own heads. Sounds fun. Well, I have won the toss, so Ivan starts off.
Now you sneak.
Thank you. Now you, Ivan.
Oh. Now you sneak.
This is where it starts to get exciting. Now you, Ivan.
The last shot is yours, Snape.
Oh. Well, here goes.
Oh, my foot! My foot!
And this is Cecil, not such a fool, Snaith, returning you to the studio.
Finally, we turn to those legendary Russian figures, the anarchists. Is it true that they were always plotting for the downfall of government officials? Let's eavesdrop on 2 such anarchists in a dark alleyway just outside Moscow.
Felicity,
Yes, Ambrose.
you didn't forget to bring the bomb with you, did you?
No, darling, I've got it here.
Well, get ready to throw it when I give you the word.
Yes.
We'll teach that Petrovich fellow a thing or two, eh?
Ambrose, do you really think our little plan will work?
Of course it will, you silly old faggot. I've been watching Petrovich's movements very closely.
I know.
He passes through this alleyway every night sharp at 9 o'clock.
Oh, but Ambrose, look at the time.
Oh, good heavens, it's 9:20.
Yes, he's very late tonight.
Oh, dear.
What is it?
I do hope nothing's happened to him.
Well, there you are. There'll be another Hornorama next week when the subject will be physical training. Does it get your back up? Also, in next week's programme, we shall be reading extracts from the autobiography of a department store detective entitled The Confessions of a Counter-Spy. And there'll be a preview of the new film starring Bridget Bardot and called The Gladys Morgan Story. So until next week at the same time, this is Kenneth Horne saying goodbye for now and leaving you with this thought from a listener. If a chemist bought some strepto traps, would it be to catch some streptomycin? Good night.
You might have been listening to What I've Just Missed, Beyond Our Ken, a sort of recorded radio show which gave employment to Kenneth Horne and also to Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddick, Betty Marsden, Bill Pertwee, Pat Lancaster, the Fraser Hayes Four, and the BBC Revue Orchestra, conducted by Paul Fennelly. The script, believe it or not, was written, and letters of complaint should be sent to Eric Merriman. However, the onus must inevitably fall on our producer, Jakes Brown.
Look out, here comes Whacker Cartwright.
All right, settle down, class. Now, Prescott, Charley. Here, sir. Woodley, Nathaniel.
Add some.
Merriweather, Geraldine.
Present, sir.
Darcy, Agincourt, Smith, Reginald.
I'm here, sir.
All present, good. Now, first I want to deal with the examination papers of Geraldine and Charley.
Oh, good. Oh, wow.
Geraldine, good girl. You go to the top of the class.
Thank you.
Charley goes to the bottom.
Oh, but sir...
Don't argue, boy. The reason for this is obvious. Geraldine's answers to the questions are eminently satisfactory. But...
That was an excerpt from Charley's Aunt. Another in our series, A Play to Remember, which may also help you to forget the next half hour.
Meanwhile, for those with a strong disposition, here is a sort of radio show which is beyond our ken. Among those taking part are Wimbledon champion Hubert Caraway, unseeded, Sybil Stack-Pottington, the Customs and Excise Dodgem team, Sir Oliphant Castle, Miss Multimillionaire...
She's got a nice figure.
To continue, Lord Chief Justice Nicky the Greek, Amanda Wellworn, and, of course, Mr. Kenneth Horne, who prefers to remain anonymous. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenneth Horne.
Hello, good evening. This is Beyond Our Ken, and you're welcome to it. Well, now, let me, as usual, tell you some of the things that have happened since we last met. On Monday, I spent the day in the garden attending to my hydrangeas and lobelias and treating them with special chemicals. Mind you, you've got to be careful with them, you know. Unfortunately, I got the chemicals mixed up, and now my garden is full of hybelias and lodrangeas. Tuesday, I ran into a friend of mine who'd just come back from China. He's a reporter, actually, and out there he'd been working for a Chinese newspaper. Apparently, one day, one of the Chinese reporters got a big scoop and rushed into the office shouting,
Hold the back page! Hold the back page!
On Wednesday, nothing very exciting happened, but on Thursday, I saw the Tuesday joke about hold the back page. On Friday, I was going to look over a factory that made curds, but I couldn't find the way. So instead, I motored down to West Grinstead, which, of course, is just west of East Grinstead. It was a good road, and I've got a wonderful new driving system now. I go through the towns to avoid the bypasses. On Saturday, well, quite honestly, I've been dreading Saturday. In a weak moment, I'd agreed to have my two little nephews, Timothy and Rufus, over for the day. Now, let's see.
Yeah, can I ask you a riddle, Uncle Ken?
All right, Rufus.
What's
yes.
got 4 legs, feathers, and looks like a train?
4 legs, feathers, and looks like a train. Oh, I don't know what.
A feather bed.
Feather bed, feathers. See?
Well, now, just a minute. Where does the train come in?
Euston.
Did you get it?
No.
We'll catch the next one.
I don't think that's very funny.
You can talk. We've heard that show of yours.
Yeah, that does it. Now, off to bed, the pair of you.
Oh, no, don't.
Well,
What?
all right, then. Another half hour if you promise to be good.
Here, tell us a story, Uncle Kenneth.
We like your stories, Uncle Ken. Give us that one about the actress and the bishop.
Rufus!
Here, I know what, Uncle. Give us the Hollywood version of the 3 Little Bears.
The Hollywood version? I don't think I know that.
Once upon a time, there were 3 little bears. Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and a baby bear by a previous marriage.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, that's enough, Timothy. Now, what you really want is an exciting adventure yarn. I'll tell you a daring out-of-doors story.
I'd rather have a daring dinosaur story.
No, you would not. No. Something like, well, Robin Hood.
Oh, yeah, both embarrassing.
Nice.
Well,
nice, that is.
this-
Yes.
Now then, boys, this is a story about someone like Robin Hood, a fearless outlaw called Robin Horne. Once upon a time, in Sherwood Forest... Yes, little Fred?
Listen. Is that not the bird that has kept us awake o' nights?
Yea, it is. Hand me my bow and quiver.
Why, I'm not frightened.
Yea, verily, I'm glad we got that one out of the way early. Now then, hand me my bow, and don't thou dare sayest you mean the little clip-on one with the polka dots on it. Now, where is the bird?
Just over there, Robin, in those bushes.
Now watch this, little Fred.
Good shot, Robin. I will fetch the Oh, Robin, look what you have done.
What?
You've shot the sound effects man. Come, Robin, let us return post-haste to our camp. Hast thou forgotten the feast? Robin, where is our camp?
Well, I don't know. Methinks perhaps we've camouflaged it too well.
Yea.
Wait, is it not through that clearing? Yea, look, there is my merry band.
Ah, sire, your faithful rupee draws.
The word is troubadours. Oh, I don't know, though. Perhaps not.
Hello, Robin.
Greetings, Alan Adale. What of today, Alan?
Today, the band and I did capture this lovely wench here.
Forsooth, methinks 'tis, yea, verily 'tis, Pat Lancaster. Fain would I say, jolly nice, Pat. I like having a bit of music.
Come, Robin, your merry men are waiting. Hey! Friar Tuck, here is Robin.
Watch your cock.
More respect for our leader, you venerable old windbag.
What? Think yourself lucky, little Fred. If it were a few years ago, we would have had a bout with the quarterstaff. Unless that is not possible now.
And why not?
Well, you just can't get the staff these days.
Friar Tuck, is the feast prepared?
Yea, Robin, though I'm a little worried about the haunch of venison on the spit.
Well, what's the matter with it?
I think it's looking high.
Robin!
What is it, Will?
There's someone coming. Perhaps it's another party of Norman soldiers.
Then we must be careful. Remember the last time we encountered those Norman devils?
Yes, how wise and cunning they were. Just as we were about to do battle, they fell down and made us laugh.
A good example of Norman wisdom.
All right, to the trees.
Robin!
Hold your fire! 'Tis Maid Marian, Robin's fiancée. His fiancée? Well, that's what the producer said we had to say.
Ah, Maid Marian, how lovely you look, and what a beautiful wimple.
Maid Marian is known for her wimples.
Yes, I have them specially made in Barrett Street.
Come, Marian, join us in our feast.
Ah, I see you've been hunting deer.
Yes, darling. And you're welcome to join us.
Are you sure I'm not intruding? I mean, isn't it a stag party?
Nay, come on, let us eat, drink, and, well, let's eat and drink anyway.
First, I have prepared the steaming cauldron of tomato soup.
Well, now. Well, Marian, do I not get a kiss?
Oh, Robin, please, not in front of the men. It's embarrassing. Look at poor Will. He's gone scarlet.
No, I haven't. It's my reflection in the tomato soup.
Come on, I'm starving. Let's dig in, bags me the leg. Scrumptious.
By the way, Marian, in case you haven't met all my merry men, let me introduce them. Little Fred, Friar Tuck, Eleanor Dale, Will Scarlett, Will Stuteley, and our honoured guest, Sir Mellifont.
Sounds like a cast list for Beyond Our Ken. How do you do?
There you are, you see, Marion. You're always welcome here.
Oh, I love Sherwood, and I feel so safe here. All your men with your sturdy bows of yew, the fearless Sir Mellifont, and Eleanor Dale with his harp. Oh, it's heavenly. You and the night and the music.
Come then, let us have some music. Eleanor Dale.
I'm afraid I've lost my harp. I think 'twas at that garden fete thrown by Lady Didsbury.
Oh, don't tell us you left your harp in an English garden.
No, it's all right. I've got it. We were using it to slice the hard-boiled egg.
Robin, come over here and let us sit together on this log.
What, here?
Yes. Now you shall have your kiss.
Oh, you're pretty hot stuff, Marion.
Oh, and you too, Robin. You make me smolder. Kiss me again. Robin.
Oh, Hugh. I say, you two, I suppose you realize that log you're sitting on is the fire. Well, merry men, what say we all adjourn? Robin, look, an arrow. And there's something tied to it. It's a man.
By my Haradam, so it is. Tell me, sir, who are you?
I'm the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Well, my Lord Sheriff, did you have a good flight?
Yes, that golden arrow's jolly good. So, Robin Horne, this is your camp of outlaws, you rotten lot of varlets.
Don't you speak of my men like that. They're a bunch of lovely sweet varlets.
Oh, no, stop messing about. Now, look here, Robin Horne, why don't you ever pay your taxes?
I don't use taxis, I go by horse.
I know what I mean. Anyway, your camp is surrounded by my men. You must give in. Do you hear me? You must give in!
No, Robin, don't ever give in.
Well, you should talk.
My Lord Sheriff, we will fight. I have more men hidden in the trees. I'll call them. There, 348 merry men. And how many men have you, Sheriff?
6. Now, let's see now. 348 and 6 into that goes. 1 carry, 1 and 2 back. Oh, here I say we're outnumbered.
Then I'm afraid, Sheriff, it's an abbreviated Nottingham to you.
And knots to you, too.
Take your men and get out of here.
All right, but listen, I can't go back the way I come.
Oh, very well, you can borrow my horse.
Thank you. Oh, what a lovely pair of coconut shells. Well, goodbye, all.
Well done, Robin.
Robin, if this is to be a real happy ending, don't you think? Well, that is
All right, Marion. Fain would I ask your hand in marriage.
And fain would I accept.
Well, men, this is the end of my roving. I shall take my new bride home with me to Huntingdon, and there we shall live on my parents' estate.
Oh, no, thank you, Robin. I wish to live here in Sherwood Forest.
But, Marion, why?
Because I prefer your outlaws to your in-laws.
And now for our own strolling minstrels, 4 people who are very partial to the lute, the Fraser Hayes Four.
And so to the Kenneth Horne documentary feature, Hornorama. Yes, once again, Kenneth Horne and his team of investigators bring you a factual report on topics of immediate interest. And this week we present a close-up on motoring. Are the millions of pounds spent on new cars worth it?
Or is it money for jam? First of all, let's talk to 1 or 2 motorists. You, sir, you have a new car, I believe.
That is so, yes. Super streamlined four-seater saloon.
Can you give us any details?
Oh, yes, I can, certainly, yes. Independent suspension, synchro-mesh gears, hydraulic braking system, tubeless tires, shock absorbers, first-class transmission, to say nothing of the extras, special gadgets and all those sorts of things.
Yes. Extra gadgets, such as?
Oh, such things as pressure gauges, spot lamps, wireless... Other things like cedarwood dashboards, spring mirrors, concealed ashtrays, and one most unusual device, specially fitted windscreen wipers.
But most cars have windscreen wipers.
Yes, but these are inside.
Now then, here's a lady driver who I followed this morning. Madam, you went down Regent Street on the wrong side, round Piccadilly Circus 4 times, and ended up on the pavement inches from a store window. What possible explanation can you have?
Well, I washed the car this morning and can't do a thing with it.
Well, we motorists owe a great debt to those familiar figures on the roads of Britain, the motoring patrolmen. We're privileged to have one with us tonight, and a delightful old character he is, too. Good evening, sir. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening to you, sir. Great honour to be here tonight, and thank you.
Thank you very much. No, sir. We're not quite finished yet.
Oh, yes.
Now, sir. I believe you're with a famous motoring organisation that we're not allowed to mention.
No.
Look, sir, I said... Oh, well, never mind. Tell us, how long have you been on motorbike patrol?
About 35 years.
How long?
35 years I've been. And in all that time, sir, I've had to deal with something like 943 breakdowns.
943?
943.
Well, that's really amazing.
No, not really. It's the rotten old bikes they give us.
Well, now, for those who are everyday road users, there can be very little pleasure to be gained from driving, but quite often one comes across the real enthusiast who takes a great pride in his vehicle.
Hello, Rodney.
Hello, Charles. I say, what a beauty. Brand new, isn't it?
Yes, rather. The Rodney Mark II. Well, the old one had certainly had it, you know.
I'm not surprised the way you drive.
No, don't be like that, Rodney. Tell me, what do you think of the colour scheme?
I'm mad about it. Merv and Puce. Fabulous.
Absolutely dolly, isn't it? And notice how carefully I've chosen my things to go with it.
I know. Lemon check cap, the long woolly scarf in cerise and midnight blue. That's right.
Oh, good. I'm glad you think so, Rodders. Only one or two people have been giving me rather odd looks this morning.
Take no notice, Charles. They're just envious. Besides, I bet they soon get out of the way when they see you coming.
You bet they do.
Oh, you know, Charles, I sometimes envy you myself.
Oh, don't be silly, Rodders.
No, I do.
Oh,
really.
go on.
Well, after all, it's not everyone that gets the chance to drive a steamroller.
With so many motorists using the roads of Britain, law and order has to be maintained. Let us not forget then the ever-watchful eye kept by those high-powered police cars equipped with radio linked to headquarters.
Calling car 22. Calling car 22. Come in, car 22.
Car 22 reporting.
Oh, there you are at last, car 22. You haven't answered all morning. What's the matter? Was it something I said?
Those of us who drive cars are inclined to take them for granted. Hardly ever do we stop to think of the skilled workmanship that has produced the gleaming mechanical wonder we own. We sent our own commentator, Cecil Snaith, to a famous motor manufacturer in the Midlands.
Yes, listeners, this week I've been sent to Coventry. I'm standing actually in this vast factory where I've been watching the whole process of car manufacture. And what an incredible process it is. I've seen cars rolling off the assembly lines at the rate of 14 an hour. And I feel there would have been even more if some of them hadn't rolled off the assembly line. At this very moment, I'm standing by the huge mechanical conveyor belt, down which the unfinished bodies come at high speed for their last spraying and polishing before making their way to the markets of the world. I must say, though, that... Oh, the belt has stopped running for some reason. Well, perhaps I can catch this opportunity to have a closer look at the vehicles. The model I'm standing by... And this is Cecil, two-tone, Snaith, returning you to the studio.
Finally, let us pay tribute to the skill and patience of that fearless character, the driving instructor. What a pity, then, that so many husbands decide that they can do the job themselves.
Now then, Felicity, if you just do exactly what I tell you, everything will be all right.
I'll try,
All right?
darling,
No,
but you
no.
must be patient with me,
Well, of
my
course I
darling
will, you
Ambrose.
silly old faggot. Now, start the engine. Yeah, good. Now, into gear, nice and smoothly. Into gear. Put your foot on the clutch first.
I'm sorry, Ambrose, dear, I forgot.
You stupid old fool. You mustn't forget anything when you're driving a car.
I know
Now,
that.
do it properly.
All right.
Now, that's it. Now, accelerate. Accelerate. Let your foot off the clutch. Easy. Easy.
Yes, yes.
You forgot the handbrake, didn't you?
Yes, Ambrose, I'm terribly sorry.
Don't you remember anything, you buffoon?
Please, Ambrose.
I've got a memory like a sieve.
I'll try again, my
All
darling.
right, but don't forget anything this time. That's it, that's it. Now forward, slowly, hard.
Ambrose, what's happened?
Oh, I forgot to open the garage door.
Well, there you are. There'll be another Hornerama next week when the subject will be florists. What do you send them when they're ill? So until next week at the same time, this is Kenneth Horne saying goodbye for now and leaving you with this thought from a listener aged 13 who asks, is the little man who drives the train in Paris called a metronome? Good night.
You have either been listening to or have just missed Beyond Our Ken, a sort of recorded radio show which gave employment to Kenneth Horne and also to Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddick, Betty Marsden, Bill Pertwee, Pat Lancaster, the Fraser Hayes Four, and the BBC Revue Orchestra conducted by Paul Federley. The script, believe it or not, was written, and letters of complaint should be sent to Eric Merriman. However, the onus must inevitably fall on our producer, Jake Brown.
Okay, Chuck, this one's ready. Stand clear. Timber!
Well, that's another one, McGinty.
Yeah, boy, am I fed up with chopping these gosh darn trees down day after day. Who'd be a lumberjack?
What are you talking about, man? It's a great life.
Ah, shucks.
You're like all the other guys around here moaning all the time. Why be miserable? Look at me. I really enjoy being a lumberjack. You gotta whistle while you work. You gotta whistle.
Well, that was an excerpt from The Most Happy Fella. The last in our series, A Show to Remember, which may also help you to forget the face I pull to get a laugh at this point every week.
Meanwhile, for those who haven't been able to see that face, here is a sort of radio show which is Beyond Our Ken. Among those taking part are Sir Hugh Grit, the Cloakroom Attendants Poetry Lovers Circle, Murchison Thrip, Miss Rona Rancid.
She's gone off a bit.
Came to the last. To continue. Lofty Shorthouse, the Sheik of Golders Green, and, of course, Mr. Kenneth Horne, who prefers to remain anonymous. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Anonymous.
He thinks he's going to be in the next series, I expect. Hello, good evening. Welcome to this last in our present series of Beyond Our Ken, affectionately known to us as B.O.K., because we hope it'll be okay on the night. Well, now, let me, as usual, tell you what's been happening since we last met. On Saturday, I went to the cinema and saw a film all about life among the Eskimos. Quite an eye-opener it was. I learnt one thing from it. Those Eskimo girls will do anything for a cloth coat. I thought you'd have to think about that one a bit. Monday I was going to see Fanny by gaslight, but she'd had electricity put in. So instead, I decided to take a bus somewhere. It was great fun. The London Transport were a bit annoyed. I took it to Pontefract. Anyway, it was all right. I took the bus back 2 days later, and they thought it was just running late. On Wednesday, I got into more trouble when I had my face slapped at a big cocktail party I attended. Very charming young lady. It wasn't really my fault. I mean, the badge she was wearing did say press. Thursday, I spent most of the day at home playing the piano. Now, that may surprise you, but for years I've been playing the piano on and off. Always had a rather slippery stool. Actually, at one time, I even played in a trio. It was only a small trio, just the two of us. Me on the piano and Yehudi Menuhin on vibes. However, Thursday evening, I did pop out for a meal, and I ordered a salad. Well, when it arrived, it looked a bit bare, so I called the waiter over and said, "Just look at this salad. I've never seen a salad so bare." And he said,
"Oh, well, sir, it's the French dressing, you'll know."
Which explained everything, really. That's all the news up to date. Now, where's the cast? Where's the cast? Come on. Come on. All right, now gather round. Now, listen a moment. Now, look, this is the last show, you know, and I've been thinking perhaps we ought to make a suitable gesture to our producer. No. Williams, not that sort of gesture at all. I mean, well, I think we ought to show our appreciation for what he's done for us.
Wonderful idea.
I agree.
Yes.
Well, what has he done for us?
Oh, well, all sorts of things, like, well, then he was always very, you must admit, yes, what has he done for us?
Oh, no, Ken, be fair. I mean, I'm sure we can all honestly say that whenever the opportunity arose, Jakes was always there with a helping hand.
Yes, you can say that again.
I mean, you couldn't have a more polite, courteous, considerate old gentleman. I mean, well, look what his wife told us. He never forgets to hold open the door for her when she fetches the coal in.
Yes, well, perhaps we should give him a small token of our esteem, but what now?
Why don't we give him something to wear on formal occasions?
Such as?
Well, for instance, teeth.
Ah, dear, you know, it's so difficult to know the right thing. Now, let's see. Has anybody got anything they'd like to get rid of? Kenneth Williams.
What a splendid idea. I'm sure Jakes would love to get rid of Kenneth Williams.
That's charming. All right, Paddick, why don't you give him one of your old suits, like the one you're wearing?
Now, just a minute. Look, this isn't getting us anywhere. Betty.
Yes, Ken, yes.
Can you think of anything we can give our producer?
No, nothing.
Well, that's the best suggestion so far.
Of course. Why didn't we think of it before? We'll give him nothing.
Well, at least it's practical.
Yes. Oh, all right, let's get him over here and tell him. Oh, Jakes. Where is he? Jakes! Jakes!
Coming.
Well, Jakes, the cast and I have been having a little chat, and, well, Jakes, on behalf of all the cast and myself, as a token of the very high esteem in which we hold you, I have much pleasure in presenting you with this.
Oh, thank you. What is it?
Nothing.
Oh, you shouldn't have. Go on, Jakes, take it.
We know it's not much, but it's the thought that counts.
Speech! Oh, no, really, I hardly know what to say.
Well, that makes a change.
Oh, look, a little tear has crept into the corner of his eye.
Well, it's not every day he gets nothing.
All I can say is, I shall treasure it always.
Oh, come on, you can do better than that, Jakes. Make it more dramatic.
Yes,
Lift it off the paper.
Oh, yes. More feeling. Try it with the emphasis on treasure. I shall treasure it always.
I shall treasure it always. Exits dramatically, effects door shut.
Those are the directions.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You'd think he'd know, wouldn't you? Now, door, please.
Well, thank goodness he's gone.
Well, now, on with the show. On with the show. You know, I thought it'd be... Hello? Who can that be, as if I didn't know? Hello!
Good heavens, it's Kenneth Horne.
Pat Lancaster, you've been dying to say that, haven't you? All right, sing, Pat. Jolly nice, Pat.
Thank you. And now, Ken, as this is the last show for a while, we've got a surprise for you. Stand by.
This week we bring you a scorching and sensational life story.
It's savage, sordid, tempestuous.
Packed with human emotions and wild passion, we present...
The Kenneth Horne story.
Only once in a lifetime does a personality come along who possesses so many fine qualities. Wit, charm, abounding talent. A man who is loved by everyone. But unfortunately, we're not doing the Kenneth Williams story. Ours is the Kenneth Horne story.
Yes, Kenneth Horne. Gay, vital, ebullient, mellifluous. A man of infinite taste. Elegant, charming, brilliant raconteur. A rich...
Oh, get on with it. Well, hanging it out like that.
Pardon that interruption, ladies and gentlemen. Kenneth Horne. How much do we really know of him?
Well, I could tell you a thing or two.
Do you remember that voice?
Oh, I said, really, you haven't got her here, have you?
Yes. Come in, Mavis Prendergast.
Well, after all these years, eh?
I'm terribly sorry, I'm afraid I don't remember you.
Of course you do. How could you forget your old games, mistress?
Well, bless my soul. Bless my soul, old knees bend Prendergast.
Yes, that's right. It's me, dear Lemuel.
Lemuel?
Oh, yes. His name then used to be...
No, please, Mavis.
But I thought everyone knew. Lemuel Water Sprite.
Lemuel Water Sprite.
All right. That's enough out of you, Leslie Blanchflower.
How did you know?
Anyway, all we're trying to establish is that at school, Kenneth Horne was a very good sport.
So was Mavis Prendergast.
From school, Kenneth Horne went to Cambridge University and as a young man distinguished himself in the debating society. His wit and oratory won general acclaim. They still talk of his sparkling repartee on the occasion when one of our up-and-coming politicians was speaking in the union debate.
Furthermore, this house believes in the freedom of individual expression. And gentlemen, if there ever comes a time when we should lose sight of that glorious adventuring spirit and the true conception of a life free from want and fear, and not to mention the British Empire, in which our loyalty and devotion must never for a minute falter, then, gentlemen, this I would finally say: let us go forward with supreme optimism in the prosperity and continuing progress of expansion, knowing that we, of all people, believe in our island heritage.
Oh, belt up!
From university, he entered the world of commerce.
A financial wizard with the luck of Midas. Anything he touched turned to gold.
For instance, he had a golden secretary. But even in the frantic whirl of business life, he found time for show business. He formed a dance band known as the Kenneth Horne Hotshots.
Ken himself played alto sax and also delighted the customers with his vocals, with such popular numbers of the day as...
Good night, Cockfosters, you city of a million memories, the fragrant perfume of 1,000 cigars, and boozing in bars in June. Good night, Cockfosters, it's 40 minutes on a 2-9 bus, a trip to paradise that's hard to resist, it's shrouded in mist in June. Sweet city of Middlesex, you turn me into a broken-hearted clown from Piccadilly. It's a stone's throw, just at the other end of town. Good night, Cockfoster.
And good night, Kenneth Horne.
Then came the war.
Our hero was very popular with the Army and Navy.
He went into the Air Force. As an RAF officer, he made something of a reputation for himself.
Here, you, just because there's a blackout, there's no need
Let
to...
us gloss over his war efforts.
His rank was wing commander, and after the war, his rank was the one just outside Euston Station.
One day, his taxi carried an important passenger from the BBC.
I say, driver.
Yes, sir?
I've been studying you closely. Your looks and appearance are just what we want.
Oh, really?
Yes, you'll be absolutely right for radio.
Success followed success. Comedy shows, panel games, variety. Kenneth Horne was the busiest man in the BBC.
Apart, of course, from the chap who dealt with complaints from listeners.
Almost every night he was working, and long will Kenneth Horne remember those 20 questions.
I'm home, dear.
Where do you think you've been?
Out.
Alone?
No.
Who with?
Someone.
Animal?
Yes.
Female?
Yes.
Could you eat her?
I certainly could.
And the next object is a rolling pin.
No.
A rolling...
Like most of those in the limelight, Kenneth Horne pays the penalty of fame.
Yeah, mister, can I have your autograph?
Yeah, yes, of course. Now, lend me your pencil, will you? There we are.
Oh, Tar, I suppose you are Mr. Kenneth Horne, the famous playwright?
Well, no, I'm afraid I'm the other one.
Oh, have you got a rubber on you?
So we come to the present day.
And let us end the Kenneth Horne story with a final word from the star of our show, Kenneth Horne.
Well, thank you. You know, ladies and gentlemen, Beyond Our Ken doesn't really have a star. It's a show that is based on teamwork. The spirit of comradeship which the cast share is unique in show business.
I quite agree.
Nobody's asking you.
I'll say what I think.
Don't be so rude, William.
You keep out of this,
What was
Marsden.
your saying, Paddick?
But you're out.
Just as you talk to me.
Yes, all right, we were only joking, but I'm certainly not joking when I say it's always a pleasure to introduce the Fraser Hayes Four.
And so to the Kenneth Horne documentary feature, Hornorama. Yes, once again, Kenneth Horne and his team of investigators bring you a factual report on topics of immediate interest. And this week we present a close-up on France. Chers auditeurs, écoutez maintenant un rapport factuel des sujets immédiatement intéressants.
Which roughly translated means Douglas Smith ate un grand bons. Well, now then, first of all, let's talk to this gentleman. You, sir, I believe you're a regular visitor to France.
That is so, oui. Once a year, I spend several weeks in the south of France, Cannes, Nice, and Tropez, or some such sun-soaked resort.
What sort of a resort was it, sir?
Sun-soaked.
Oh, yes. Now, what do you like to do?
Oh, all sorts of things. I spend most of my days basking in the sun, swimming, water skiing, sightseeing, lazing outside cafes, sipping soft drinks. And at night, well, there's so many things. There's the casino, restaurants, bars, saucy shows. Oh, it's one gay, endless round of pleasures.
Yes, but isn't all this rather expensive?
Yes, but I don't mind splashing out occasionally.
Well, now we're privileged to meet a remarkable old gentleman who lives and works in Paris. Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening to you. Good evening. I'm very privileged that you should call upon me.
Thank you, sir. Now, tell me, whereabouts in Paris do you work?
I work in one of them naughty review places. You know, where everyone...
Yes, I know. Quite, sir. I understand. How long have you been there?
35 years.
How long?
35 years. Yeah.
Now, sir, I presume you like your job.
Oh, no, not really.
Well, why not?
Well, it gets a bit cold posing like that every night.
Well, now, France. Firstly, it is inevitable that we should think of its gay, romantic capital. Yes, Paris, the magic mecca of tourists the world over. And wherever there are tourists, you can be sure there will be those whose job it is to cater for tourists.
Hello, Rodney.
Bonjour, Charles. What did you think of last week's lot?
Peasant, Charles. Absolute peasant.
I know. The Louvre, the Eiffel Tower, the Folies Bergère, and that's their lot.
Yes. If I hear another one say that tower's quite an Eiffel, I shall scream.
Well, what can you expect with the people that are coming to Paris these days?
Yes, I got my own back on one of them, though. I told him to spend a night out with April.
You didn't?
I did! And when he said he'd never heard of her, I said, everyone's heard of April in Paris.
Oh, you are wrong.
Still, it's no laughing matter, really. Only made a few francs last week.
Me too. Let's hope this boatload's a bit more culture conscious.
Yes, here they come.
Pets cards!
Naughty pets cards!
Very quiet.
One cannot think of France without thinking of wine. Not unnaturally, since the produce of its famous vineyards are known the world over. For those who might like to know a little more about winemaking, we sent Cecil Snaith to Bordeaux.
Yes, listeners, I am speaking to you now from outside a beautiful old chateau in the vineyards where some of the most superb wine is produced. Now, some of you who are not wine drinkers may be put off by the old conception that the grapes are trodden by barefooted French peasants. So let me assure you that these days it is much more modern and hygienic. They wear boots. The whole process of winemaking is absolutely fascinating. And I'm now going down into the cellars of the old chateau where the wine has been fermenting in large vats and I'm told is now matured and ready for bottling. So, let's go down and see for ourselves. It's rather dark in here, of course, but if I remember rightly, the steps down are just about in it. And this is Chateau Snaith, 1960, returning you to the studio.
Finally, let us spare a thought for those whose sense of daring and adventure prompts them to attempt a journey to France by swimming the Channel. Yes, and in the summer of every year, it's a common sight to see the small boats crossing the water with their hopeful companions swimming alongside.
Keep it up, Felicity.
Ambrose, I'm getting so tired, my darling.
Never mind, we're nearly there. Come on faster or it'll be dark before we land.
Ambrose, I'm hungry.
What, again? Oh, all right. Open your mouth and I'll chuck another sardine sandwich in.
Oh, dear, you missed. Oh.
Hard luck. That was the last one, too.
I don't think I can go any further, Ambrose.
But you must. Look, Cape Grisnez is just ahead. You can't give up now, you silly old faggot.
Oh, dear.
Come on, Felicity, that's it. Forward, side together. Forward. We're here. We've made it.
Oh, thank goodness. Ambrose, I'm absolutely exhausted.
Oh, stop
my
complaining.
darling.
You've been moaning all the way across.
Never again, Ambrose.
What do you mean, never again?
What I say, you and your bright ideas.
Well, it's the cheapest way I know to get to France.
You wicked
Well, there you are. So ends another series of Beyond Our Ken. We'll be back later in the year. So until we meet again, this is Kenneth Horne saying goodbye for now and leaving you with this final thought from a listener who says, if all the thoughts at the end of the show are provided by listeners, what's the scriptwriter doing? Good night.
You've either been listening to or have just missed Beyond Our Ken, a sort of recorded radio show which gave employment to Kenneth Horne and also to Kenneth Williams, Hugh Paddick, Betty Marsden, Bill Pertwee, Pat Lancaster, the Fraser Hayes Four, and the BBC Revue Orchestra conducted by Paul Fennelly, who played Edwin Braden's music, which was strictly incidental. The script, believe it or not, was written, and letters of complaint should be sent to Eric Merriman. However, the onus must inevitably fall on our producer, Jakes Brown.